Welcome to my YouTube channel Dreams Learning Zone. So we are doing a reading comprehension of grade 9 compulsory English from unit 2 health and hygiene. So here is a text. So before we read this text, here are some questions. Okay, pre-reading questions are given here. So number A, who do you think the person in the picture is, a king or a wrestler? Why? So the picture, we can see a picture of a king. Is a king. Okay, so his get up is dress up. He has a crown, C-R-O-W, and crown, and because of his dress up and position, we can say the picture is of a king, not of a wrestler. So if he is a wrestler, so his body would be very much fitted. It doesn't look he's like a wrestler. His body is not so good as of a wrestler. He looks very fat. He has become a victim of obesity, O-B-E-S-I-T-Y. So there is only one hint, that is the crown. Because of this crown, we can say this is a picture of a king. So he is a king. The person, the P-E-R-S-O-N, the person in the picture is a king. Picture is a king because of his royal get up and a crown on his head. How has he put on so much weight? How has he put on so much weight? So putting on so much weight is it might be is because of heavy eating habit. One thing, eating a lot, eating more, and lazy nature. Okay, so if we eat a lot and if we do nothing, then we get very fat. We put on so much weight. So how has he put on so much weight? So he has put on so much weight because of eating a lot and doing nothing. Just spent hours lazily, just sleeping and doing nothing. Do you think he is healthy? I don't think he is healthy. He is not healthy. He is not H-E-A-L-T-H-Y healthy because of his use body. He doesn't seem to be an active person. He is very lazy. His position shows that he is very lazy. Okay, so these are the pre-reading questions. Now we are reading the actual text. The title of this text, here is a story, and the title of this story is Health is Wealth. So our wealth is our health. Okay, let's see what is there in this story. Once upon a time there lived a benevolent and kind-hearted. So is generous, is kind. Okay, kind type of not Creole, is is a kind king, a generous king, and is benevolent, kind-hearted king. Okay, so it's a story about a kind-hearted king. Despite his benevolent nature, his kind heart, in spite of his kind-hearted nature, people, they did not like him. Most of people, his people did not like him because they were not happy. His people were not happy because of his lazy nature. Okay, so because he was very lazy and would not do anything other than eating and sleeping. He was not doing anything for his people. He was just eating a lot. He was just spending his time sleeping. So instead of doing good works for his country, for his nation, for his people, he just devoted himself in eating and sleeping and spending the days lazily. These are the reasons. That is why his people, they were not happy with him. They did not like him. Okay, he spent days, weeks and months in his bed, either eating something or sleeping. So he could do nothing, just eating and sleeping. And the king became a potato couch. Okay, so he became like a potato. Okay, he became very fat. His body looked like a potato. Okay, so big stomach. Okay, and the people started to worry about him. And when he became more and more fat, he looked like a potato. That is why most of people, they started worried about king's health. Okay, he became so lazy. One day the king realized that he himself realized that he could not move his body. So he became so fat that he could not even move his hands and legs. It became so hard to move his for his movement. Okay, so one day the king himself realized that he was getting fatter, and it was difficult for him to move his foot and leg, hands and leg. Okay, his body. He became very large, and his fatness became a matter of fun, calling him bulky king. So he got a name bulky king by his enemies, and some people, they started, people who hated him, they started calling him bulky king. He became a matter of fun. Okay, the king invited expert. That is why, so he realized himself and he thought of reducing his obesity, his fatness, and he became conscious. Okay, so after becoming very fat, after becoming like a potato couch, he realized that he had to reduce his weight. So he called expert doctors from various parts of his country and offered them generous rewards. And he announced generous rewards for them who could make him fit. Okay, so unfortunately, no one could help him gain his health and fitness back. So nobody came. So he did not find any expert who could cure his obesity, who could make him fit, who could make him slim, healthy. The king spent an enormous amount of money, but everything went in vain. So he did a lot. He spent lots of money to become slim, to become healthy, or to regain his health back. But all of them, they went in vain. Nothing helped him. One fine morning, a holy man, a sacred man, visited the country. Okay, so his country was visited by a holy or sacred man on a fine morning. So he heard about the ill health of the king, and that holy man, he heard about the bad health condition of the king, and he informed the minister at the palace that he could easily cure the king. And the king was seeking expert doctors who could make him slim. Fortunately, a minister found out the holy person was able to cure fatness or cure his king. So at the palace, that he could easily cure the king. Hearing these promising words, and the holy man promised that he could cure the illness of the king. The minister became very happy, and as soon as he heard the good news, he became very happy, and he went to the king. He requested the king to meet the holy man to get rid of this problem, and he suggested and he recommended the the king to meet that holy person, because he was only the person who could make him get rid of his fatness. Okay, the holy man resided at a distant place, so he lived at a distant place. He lived far away from that place, from that country. Since the king could not move his body, he asked the minister to bring the holy man, and he asked his minister to bring that holy man back to his palace for his treatment. But the holy man refused. The holy man, he did not like to visit the king at his palace. Instead, he said that the king had to go to him. So king is the victim of fatness. King had the problem, and if he wanted to solve that problem, he had to go to the holy man. He had to visit the holy man, in order to get cured. After strenuous efforts, the king made some efforts for the sake of his body, for the sake of his health. The king met the holy man at the latter's residence. Okay, and he found him. The holy man complimented the king, saying that he was good ruler. So instead of commenting on his body, on his physical feature, physical structure छ, जुन the fatness मोटोपन छ, त्यसको बारेमा ब्याड कमेन्ट गर्नुको साटो के गर्छन् the holy man, he complimented, he praised the ruling capacity of the king, and said that he would soon regain his health, र छिटै health regain हुन्छ भन्ने promise गरे. He asked the king to come for the treatment next day. He also told the king would be treated if only, and he kept a condition. Yes, so the holy man would cure the king if he would have come on foot. Okay, if he came on foot to the holy man's residence. Okay, if he came on foot to the holy man's residence. The king was unable to walk even a few steps on the road. It was very much difficult for the king to walk on the road because he was getting so much weight on his body. But aided by his followers, he reached the holy man's palace. Anyhow, he was able to reach at his holy man's place. Unfortunately, the holy man was not available there, and his devotee requested the king to come and meet him the next day for the treatment. And the king was said that he should visit the holy person the next day for his treatment because he was not available at that moment. This was repeated for 2 weeks. The king had to go to that holy man's place for 2 weeks to meet him, but every time he was unable to meet that person. The king never met the holy man and never had any treatment, and it was not possible for him to get treatment from that holy man because the king did not meet him, okay, at his place. Gradually, the king himself realized that he felt a lot of lighter. So after walking so many days, the king realized that he was getting lighter. He was becoming a little bit healthier, lost a considerable amount of weight, and felt more active than before. Okay, so he realized that he became active. Okay, he realized the reason why the holy man asked him to reach his palace by walking, and later the king realized that why the holy man told him to visit him by walking. Very soon the king regained his health and people were very happy in his kingdom. Later he became healthy, he became slim, and he gave up his eating habit and sleeping habit, and he again started living his active life that made his people also happy. Now here are some questions. A number: benevolent is kind, couch potato, like potato, obesity, fatness, devotee, strenuous. Okay. Can increase the risk of heart disease. What can increase the risk of heart disease? Obesity, fatness. obesity. Obesity can increase the risk of heart disease because obese people are likely to suffer from heart problems. My father is kind, helpful, and generous. He has a what kind of benevolent attitude? benevolent, benevolent attitude. Take rest for a week. Avoid tasks which require strenuous physical activity. I like God Shiva. I am actually a devotee. I am actually a devotee of him. My younger sister is a great. She can watch TV 24 hours a day. My younger sister is a great potato coach. POTATOCOUCH. Why did people not like the king though he was kind? People did not like the king though he was kind because he was lazy. He was lazy and spent most of time eating and sleeping. So we can give answer like this. The people did not like the king though he was kind because he was lazy and he spent most of his time eating and sleeping. Okay. Why were the specialists called to the palace and offered huge prizes? The specialist, the specialists were called to the palace and offered huge prizes because the king wanted to regain his health back. Why did the minister become so happy? The minister became so happy because he met a holy person who could cure his king. Why did the holy man tell the king to come to his palace on foot for treatment? The holy man told the king to come to his palace. The holy man told the king to come to his place on foot for treatment so that he could become active. Why did the holy man disappear after the first meeting with the king? The holy man disappeared after the first meeting with the king, so that the king would walk would walk every day so the king could walk every day without difficulty. Difficultly after it becomes his habit. How did the king recover his health? Recovered recovered his health by walking regularly. What lesson did you learn from the story? We should not be eating a lot and spending time lazily.